Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Commission press room. The President will make a statement and then we'll take a couple of questions, and he will have to go straight to the European Parliament where a Conference of Presidents is held. We are organizing a technical briefing immediately after the President's press conference. We have experts from our Director General for Economic and Financial Affairs and from the Director General for Financial Services. President, you have the floor.
Thank you, Margaritis. Mesdames et messieurs.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. When, a long time ago, I started my European life, we were 10 member states. It was in December 1982. The 10th member state had just joined the European family a year before, and that was Greece. And I was happy at the time to see Greece join us to complete the European Union, which was called the European Community at the time. Because, in the words of Valéry Giscard d'Estaing, we didn't want to see Plato play in the second division. And I still don't want to see Plato play in the second division. Today we are 28 member states, and we've been able to reconcile, after so many efforts and sacrifices, so much effort, then we've managed to reconcile European history and geography. 28 member states capable of merging up to 19 national currencies in a single currency. And I want us to remain 19 and to be even more numerous in future years and decades. So that's Europe, Europe of reconciliation and compromise, a Europe which wants to understand others. That's the Europe which has become my major life's work. Europe where we can work together patiently and with determination in our common interest, and not a theatre of conflict between national interests, however justified these national interests may be, thinking only about individual and national interests. Europe, which is a convergence of political will and not national egotism and the rivalry between them. Europe can only work if we're able to manage our differences in a dialogue which will be a virtuous and respectful dialogue, and to organize our individual actions for the good of everyone. In Europe, no democracy is worth more than another. And in the Eurozone, there are 19 democracies and not 1 against 18 or 18 against 1. For each of these democracies, a vote is a vote and a people is a people. European citizens are all citizens individually. It's not a game of bluff. There are no winners and losers. Either we're all winners or we're all losers. So I am particularly sad by what Europe has seen last Saturday. In one night, Europe suffered a major blow, and goodwill was flown to the wind. Egotism, tactical games, populist games took precedence over other aspects. And after all my efforts and the efforts made by the Commission and by other institutions involved in the process, I feel a little betrayed, because not due consideration is being given to my personal efforts and the efforts of others who were very numerous and made a sustained effort. There have been many rumours, and that's really blocked out the voice of those who've worked tirelessly day and night, and I admire those who are working with me. They have not spared any efforts to keep the European family united. The disagreements were over-dramatised, and that meant that it was not possible to reach an agreement in the interest of all. It's in the interest of all, and of course in the interest of the Greeks in particular. We hear reference made to an ultimatum, a take it or leave it agreement. We've heard reference to blackmail. But who's involved in that? Who? Where are these insults and threats coming from? These unfinished sentences which make people imagine the wrong things. Last Friday, after months and months of discussion and debate, we were once again determined, patient, working together round the table to achieve the best possible agreement. But our efforts were broken off unilaterally by the announcement of the referendum and campaigning to say no to this agreement without really the whole truth being spoken. Playing one democracy against 18 others is not an attitude worthy of the great Greek nation. And it doesn't help any other European citizens, and certainly not Greek citizens. Greek citizens who are being called to vote next Sunday need to have a clearer picture of what's at stake. I've done everything I could. Others have tried to do everything they could, and we don't deserve the criticism being levelled at us. We don't deserve all of this criticism. I don't, nor does the President of the Eurogroup, Mr. Dijsselbloem, who has spared no efforts in recent weeks to achieve an agreement. And we've worked together with the President of the Eurogroup. The President of the European Commission have worked together because we wanted to reach an agreement.